We've just come home to the Eastern Territory from Kenya. Janice and I were serving in Kenya for the last 2.5 years.
It's a land of contrast, we often say. It's the beauty of the country. It's the ugliness of the slums and the poverty. It's the beauty of the flowers, the fruit, the crops. It's the ugliness of the dry ground from the drought.
I mean, in Nairobi, outside of the Kibera slums, you would see on the edge of the slums, there was this tall wall, about 12 foot high, barbed wire on top. One side is Kibera slums. The other side is the Royal Nairobi Golf Club, which is one of the most exclusive golf clubs in all of the country. And so it's just it's a country of contrasts. Nairobi is a very moderate climate because it's a mile-high city. But when you go out of Nairobi to the coast in Mombasa and so forth, you could get to a very hot climate. It might be 104, 105. We were there on one Sunday where the meeting was inside the court hall, which has brick sides, a corrugated tin roof, and the sun is beating down 104, and it's 120 inside. So we're just dripping with
Polyester
sweat.
uniforms, a hat on my head. It was excruciating, the heat was for me at that point. But the experience, it was hot in that building for other reasons as well. The worship there, people just come, they just flock to the army. And buildings are almost always full. People are standing outside trying to peer in windows and doorways. And once the worship gets wound up, it is wound up. There is dancing and singing. It's fantastic. And meetings go on and on for 2, 3, 4 hours just worshiping the Lord.
You cannot drive down the road on a Sunday morning in Kenya and not see a Salvationist. The Salvationists there, they're proud of their uniform, they're proud to wear it, and they're really well known in the community. In some communities where a family may have suffered a death or a serious illness of one of the caregivers or the breadwinners in the family, you would oftentimes see people walking for miles to go and just sit with the family. They might bring them some food, but they would go and just sit with them and listen and pray with them and show concern and care for them. So that's probably one of the things that we learned while we were there in Kenya, is that it's not just about me, it's about the community.
Many years ago, the Army established themselves as a forerunner of taking care of handicapped people. And for years, handicapped folks were thrown away in society. They were hidden. They were actually looked upon as being a curse to the family. And they could be in someone's home where the community would not even know that that child is there. They would just keep them hidden in the house forever. And the Salvation Army began ministering to these type of people and bringing them to a school in Thika. The school for the blind, I think of Reuben, who is now an elderly man, but he attended this school for the blind, was educated, was able to then enter society, make a living. He became a school teacher, went back to this very same school to give back what he had received, teaching hundreds of students who were visually impaired. He has started an outpost. He's the sergeant major in a very rural, dry, drought-ridden community where he continues to teach not only those who are blind, but others, teaching them of the gospel and also giving them skills that they can then become productive. One of the things that I've learned is that within individuals and community, the resources are there to solve almost every problem. It takes a group of people to figure out what is best for that community and to figure out what resources they have or where they can get the resources. It really has been a lesson that I'm very grateful that I've learned.
The three-legged stool, it's something that the guys some of them will carry with them. They'll strap it on their back to go and sit in the middle of the village to talk with the other men, to discuss what's happening in the life of the village, how their crops are growing, how the animals are doing, and so forth. And so they would sit on this three-legged stool. And so one of the things I did when I would go out and teach is I would take the opportunity to use the thing that General Gowans had talked about. The Salvation Army is about saving souls, growing saints, and serving suffering humanity. And so I would talk about the fact that if we're going to do our mission as Salvationists, we have to have all three legs. We have to save souls, we have to grow saints, we have to serve suffering humanity. And it was a great illustration that I was able to share with the Salvationists there about what our mission really is about.
Whatever language that folks are praying in, you can see it comes from their heart. They know who the Creator is. They know who keeps them literally alive every day, who helps to keep them free from the many diseases that are wiping out family members. They know who supplies the rain for their crops to grow. And out of that comes this beautiful worship, a very deep, intense worship.